Yes, stuff packs. People weren't really fond of them in The Sims 2 or The Sims 3, though they did come with a good amount of stuff. But Sims 4, they decided, nah, let's make stuff packs only $10 and come with even less content than ever. Oh boy howdy, do they come with little to no content for the most part, depending on which stuff pack you get. And the very first stuff pack was one that left a very bad impression. And that was luxury party stuff. You can dress up in fancy outfits, which I'm not going to show off because they're ugly as hell, and there's only a couple. And then everything else you see here is all you get. You get some decorations, you get buffet tables, you get this weird light thing that you can't interact with, you get a new bar, you get some new chairs and table, and that's it. $10 for all this. It ain't worth it. I do like the fountain and the buffet table, but come on, that should have been part of a different DLC of some kind or something. There's just not a whole lot of value here for $10. I say luxury party is a thumbs down on the recommendation. But if you want it, get it on sale. It's not worth the full $10. And I give it an easy 1 star. Did you ever feel like that the backyard didn't have much going for it in the Sims 4 base game? Well, this stuff pack is supposed to help you with that, called Perfect Patio. In Perfect Patio, you're supposed to be able to really deck out your patio. It doesn't really come with a whole lot. It comes with a lot of ugly stuff. I do like the new bar and grill, tables and chairs, stools, and the couches, and the fact that the gameplay draw to this stuff pack is 2 hot tubs. You get 2 hot tubs. That's it, just 2 hot tubs. And there's nothing really different about them. They're both the same essentially, just one looks fancier than the other and is more expensive. Why couldn't they bring back the in-ground hot tub? You know, have a above ground and an in-ground hot tub option. But no, it's all only above ground. That sucks. And that's basically all you get. You can upgrade the hot tub to have like aroma filters to change your Sims emotion. You can make it unbreakable. If you have the eco lifestyle expansion, you can upgrade it so it doesn't use as much water, so your overall household bills will be a little bit lower. You can add a radio to it. You can change the light of the hot tub, which is neat. It's not as noticeable as in the Sims 3's lighting. The Sims 3's lighting was definitely better than the Sims 4 in a lot of ways. And that's about it. You can woohoo in the hot tub, you can cuddle in the hot tub, you can have up to 8 people in the hot tub, and that's about it for $10. I say, I do recommend it, but I would say get it on sale, and I give it a 3 stars. It's a decent stuff pack. I just wish that there was more variety in the hot tubs instead of just being above ground. Do you feel like that the kitchens don't have enough variety? Do you want a cool kitchen so you could be a cool parent to your cool kids? No one ever said that. But hey, anyways, $10 for a couple pieces of furniture for your kitchen, and then it's mostly just clothes. Yes, cool kitchen is called cool kitchen, but it's mostly just cool fashion. This comes with more creative sim items than it does build mode. You basically only get a single new counter, a single new stove, a single new fridge, a single new table, a single new chair, a single new stool, a single new cabinet, a single new island. You get basically nothing here. There's basically nothing here. Why is this $10? Why is it called Cool Kitchen if it's mostly going to focus on fashion instead of the kitchen? Oh, But here's the gameplay gimmick for this stuff pack. There's only one gameplay gimmick this time. Instead of like movie hangout where there's two things, like the movies and the popcorn maker, for Cool Kitchen, you get a ice cream maker. Yeah, you can make ice cream. Ooh. And you can either have it in a bowl or a cone, but the cone, it's like a glass. Your Sims will set it down on a surface and it'll stay perfectly fine. It's like a glass. They can just set it right down and it won't fall over. And every time your Sims eat, they don't lick the ice cream, they bite the ice cream. Who the fuck bites ice cream? You're asking for trouble if you bite ice cream. And your Sims will constantly complain about brain freeze because of it. It's so annoying. Don't get me wrong, I like the idea of having ice cream in the game because I like ice cream. And if you have things like Dine Out, you can make an ice cream shop or something. And that's about it for $10. Honestly, it's a mixed bag of a stuff pack. I like the new build mode. I like the ice cream, but I don't like how they added the ice cream to the game, how your Sims will eat it, and how it's just a glass your Sims will pick up and set down and bite into when it comes to the cone option and stuff. I just don't, it's a mixed bag of an experience here. I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I say, if you want the Sims 4 Cool Kitchen Stuff Pack, get it on sale. I'm indifferent. I'm getting a thumbs in between. It's indifferent. I'm not recommending it, and I'm not recommending it. It's in between. I'm undecided. And I give it an easy 3 stars. It's a decent stuff pack, but it's a very mixed stuff pack. If you're going to make a kitchen stuff pack, focus on the kitchen and not the fashion. If I want a fashion stuff pack, I'll download a fashion stuff pack. Ay, ay, ay. So, one of my favorite stuff packs for The Sims 4 is Spooky Stuff, which gives you a bunch of Halloween costumes and decorations, and you can throw a spooky costume party. And that's about it. It's simple, straight to the point, and it's a lot of fun. You can make a couple new cooking food, you know, like new food or whatever, like spooky cookies. And that's about it. You can do tricks and treats. You can put a little candy bowl out, which has different outcomes every time you interact with it, spooking you or not spooking you. You can have a hand come out of it. It's a simple little stuff pack. There ain't a whole lot to it, and I feel like that's good, because honestly, I'd rather have a straightforward pack that has stuff that I enjoy than be a stuff pack of random ideas that don't make sense, like movie hangout stuff, or be something that I have zero interest in, like luxury party stuff. So you can throw a party, you can use these costumes anytime you want, and when you add this with the Seasons expansion, it adds even more. So now you can actually throw an authentic Halloween party with using the actual fall season. Overall, it's a fun little stuff pack. Good amount of costumes for all ages, for children, teen, and adult, and older, for both male and female. And while there isn't a whole lot of costumes, there's a decent selection, especially Star Wars ones. Surprise, surprise. EA and their Star Wars collaborations were a thing for a while. It wasn't just Journey to Batuu. Anyways, at the end of the day, I say it's worth picking up. Thumbs up, 3 stars. Do you think that stuff packs should have a single theme, or should be a mix of ideas? Because if you like a mix of ideas, you should definitely check out Movie Hangout Stuff. Yeah, Movie Hangout Stuff. And it's literally what it says. It's movie hangout stuff. You hang out and watch a movie, but your Sims won't watch the movie because they're too busy playing on their phones or talking to each other and not looking at the screen, watching the actual movie, creating a lot of noise. So it's basically like going to the movie theater, but every other seat is full of white teenage girls on their cell phones. It comes with a whole lot of hippie decoration too. Yeah, the whole theme is a mixed bag of different ideas that don't work. You do get some nice movie posters in the movies themselves when you can actually watch them without a lot of noise pollution is good. And it reminds me of how much better The Sims 3 is and why I should play The Sims 3 instead of The Sims 4. You can make popcorn, that's the new gameplay as well, besides the movies, is the popcorn maker. Yay, popcorn. Who the hell cares? And that's about it. You get some hippie clothes and then a bunch of these different hippie furniture. The only thing I like is the movies and the new tree that comes with like lanterns hanging from it. And you can change the lights and everything on it. You know, you can change the lighting. You can turn it on and off. I wish we had more trees with lights attached to them because they look nice. Overall, this stuff pack is a mixed bag. I would not really recommend it. I give this an easy thumbs down, 2 stars. If you have to have this, get it on sale. It's just not worth its asking price. Do you feel like that The Sims 4 doesn't have enough romantic content, let alone doesn't have enough garden content? Well then, Sims 4 romantic garden stuff is for you. Romantic garden. Yeah, that's what it's called. And what does it come with? Well, it comes with a wishing well and a fountain and a bunch of decorations. And that's about it. Oh, and a lot of sim lag. For some reason, there's a lot of sim lag. I'll never understand why there's so much sim lag in The Sims 4 if it's going to be a closed-off world. Isn't that supposed to be why everyone hated The Sims 3? Anyways, yeah, that's all you get. The fountain you can toss money into, you can sit on it, you can make out on it, you can cuddle on it, you can play in it, you can add soap. And then the wishing well. It's not as good as the previous game's wishing wells. Basically, the only thing that happens is either the wishing well is mad or happy, depending on your offering. And then you can either have a positive or negative outcome, depending on its mood. Yeah, even the freaking wishing well has emotions in The Sims 4. Everything has to have emotions now. Ooh, great. Anyways, basically all you get is either you get money, you lose money, you get a child, you don't get a kid, you get turned into a ghost, or you get to be younger, or you can have a better chance at romance, and that's it. There's really nothing to it. The well sucks. Overall, this stuff pack ain't worth a penny. Thumbs down on the recommendation, 1 star. One of the most neglected life stages early on in The Sims 4's lifespan was the kids' life stage. As such, they decided to release a stuff pack dedicated to children called Kids Room Stuff, and it's actually pretty good. You don't even have to be a kid to use the stuff for the most part, except for void critters, which is The Sims version of Pokemon. It comes with a nice selection of build mode stuff, some nice little Creative Sim stuff, I think. I can't remember. I don't really use the children life stage in my game. And the Void Critter thing, it made me so mad. Because you had to be a kid to play Void Critters. You can collect the cards as an adult, but you can't play Void Critters. So I had to download a mod for it. And now I can play Void Critters, and it makes the pack even better. I don't know why they restricted it this much. It makes no sense, because if there's anything everyone should know, it's that things like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that stuff, there's more adult geek fans than there are children fans of these things, for a reason. We grew up with things like Pokemon and stuff in the 90s and early 2000s. So you got a larger adult fan base than you do have children fan base. So seeing how all these geek cons and stuff in the real world are mostly adults and stuff, why would you restrict Void Critters to be solely played by the children? So you have to download a mod off of Mod The Sims, and after that, you can play Void Critters too. You can train them, you can duel, you can collect the cards. There's a variety of them. Seems like there's like 4 or 5 different types. You got like dark, you got the water, you got the air, you got the earth, you got the fire. And there's like about 4 or 5 cards per type. It's a lot of fun. Overall, kids room stuff. Even if you're not a fan of family play, there's a good amount of stuff here. Oh, and there's also the puppet show object where you can have kids put on puppet shows, which is neat. And you also have a chest, which I thought was going to be like a costume chest from Sims 3 Generations, but it turns out it's just another toy box, which disappointed me. Overall, this stuff pack is well worth the buy. I give it a thumbs up in recommendation and give it an easy 3 stars. I wish they did more stuff packs like this. Do you feel your backyard doesn't have enough stuff? Well, then you need the Sims 4 Backyard Stuff, which comes with a lot of backyard decorations and plants, a bird feeder which can actually be used, and they'll have little quake-like birds come in to feed. You got some new patio tables which can house up to 6 chairs. You got some new wall art, some new floor art. You got wind chimes, which are nice, and you can change the pitch. And then you got the slip and slides, which come in 2 versions, simple one and then one with a shark. And that's about it for $10. And it does come with a pitcher which you can pour drinks into. In a Sims 3, the pitcher was decoration. So we actually have 3 gameplay objects in this stuff pack if you count it. You got the pitcher, you got the bird feeder, and then you got the slip and slide. You can put soap on a slip and slide, you can do tricks, or you can do a normal slide. You can take turns sliding down the slip and slide. And if you have the most recent updates with like the first person option, you can look in first person and watch your Sims slip and slide too, even though it's a little jank. Overall, it's a decent stuff pack. At first, I wasn't a fan of it, but the more I look into it, the more I feel like this is one of the better stuff packs. It adds a decent amount of stuff. Overall, I give Backyard Stuff an easy thumbs up on the recommendation and 3 stars. It's worth checking out if you want more backyard content for your house. And all ages can slip and slide except for toddlers and under. So basically you can have a little family activity where everyone goes out and plays on a slip and slide or something during the summer, if you have seasons and stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty good stuff pack. Are you tired of not having enough furniture and clothing straight out of the early 1900s? Are you tired of not being able to make your grandmother's house? Well, this stuff pack might be for you. It's called Vintage Glamour, which is literally all old school early 1900s furniture and clothing. Well, I'm not going to show off the clothing because I don't care for it. The build mode stuff is actually pretty nice. I actually don't mind the build mode. It's kind of a mix though, because some of the furniture looks a little but some of it actually looks nice. You do get these, what you call them? Those makeup stations, which your Sims can apply temporary makeup on, which is neat. And you get a globe, which inside contains juice, because that's what it's called in The Sims. You know, it's a little liquor globe. You open up the globe and it has all the juice you can pour in it. You can make little platters. That's neat. And the other bit of gameplay is the introduction of the butler, which is a live-in maid. And the butler's random too, so you never know who you're going to get. You can actually get a kleptomaniac butler, which will lead to some fun. So be careful when you get butlers. You never know what you're going to get. Over in the butler itself, well, they basically need you to give them a room and a bed, and then you have to pay them a lot of money every hour to keep them. And then you can either praise them, you can tell them to greet Sims when they come knocking at the door. You can tell them what they can and cannot do, what household chores you want them to do, and that's about it. Overall, it's a mixed bag of a stuff pack. I don't really recommend it. I say this is a thumbs down on the recommendation. Wait for a sale. $10 for this ain't really worth it. To me, this is something I will never really use. Maybe some of the clothing sometimes, but that's about it. This pack overall is meh, and I give it 2 stars. Man, I am bored. There is nothing to do at night in The Sims 4. Wait a minute. What is that sign in the distance? Is that bowling pins? Are you telling me that there's a bowling stuff pack now? Yep, they released The Sims 4 bowling stuff. You can now bowl for $10. Remember when this was just a part of DLC like Nightlife for The Sims 2? Or was it? No, that was Late Night, I think. I can't remember. And then for The Sims 3, it came in University Life. Yeah. Here, you have to pay $10 just to bowl. And that's it. You bowl. There's no scoreboard, there's no monitors, you can't input names, you can't choose your shoes or anything, you can't form teams, you can't compete competitively in tournaments and win trophies. You can't put up the guardrails or anything, you can't do nothing. And the bowling alley itself is so huge that it can barely fit on any lots. So yeah, have fun trying to figure out how to build a bowling alley in The Sims 4 given the tiny lots that the game comes with. You know, it's the usual 30 by 20 or 20 by 20 or 20 by 15. You never really get that many huge lots. So you're not going to really have enough space. And bowling alleys, they can just be placed in anything. And it can be classified as a bowling alley. It doesn't have its own lot with its own additions. You know, it really sucks. There's no greasy pizza, there's no arcade machines, there's not really anything. You just pay $10 to bowl. At least when you level up your bowling skill, which is a skill now, it's no longer tied to your fitness, which is a nice addition. You can actually choose which bowling ball you want by clicking on the bowling rack, which is actually a nice thing. I will say that's a good addition. But outside that, and the night setting you can select, where the bowling alley will change its theme, there ain't really much else to it. I say it's a pretty mixed bag of stuff pack. I'll give it a thumbs down, wait for sale, 2 stars. Do you feel like your Sims need more workout? Do you think your Sims need to lose some weight? Well, shame on you for fat shaming your Sims. we're going to be hashtag canceled. Anyways, sad reality about modern social media aside, this stuff pack is all about fitness and some extremely ugly furniture. Dear God, is it ugly. I do like the bathroom stuff, especially the tub, the corner tub, and the shower. But otherwise than that, it comes with a new treadmill, a new weight station, and then one piece of gameplay, which is the treadmill rock wall, where your Sims will now climb the rock wall. But unlike in previous game, like Sims 3, where it was an actual rock wall, this one is not stationary, it's a treadmill, where you constantly climb it up it as it comes back down and up. And you can actually have different kinds of challenges with it, but it's always random. Your Sim will constantly fall off no matter how good they are. You know, and it applies to their fitness skill. So even if you're a level 10 fitness, your Sim can constantly fail. There's a few different challenges. Everybody gets a random score every time they play. So it's meh. And you can also do a more advanced challenge where the treadmill rock wall will spew fire, and your Sims can catch on fire and burn to death if they're not careful. Which I will say, good. I like new ways your Sims can die. I'm always up for new deaths in The Sims. The Sims 4 is way too easy. We need more challenges and random deaths like in the previous games. If I want to play it safe, I will play it safe. Don't make the world entirely safe. I don't need a safe space. I want that challenge and risk that the previous games had to offer. Also, it does come with some new furniture. You get earbuds you can listen to music to through your Sims' ears. And you'll be constantly bombarded with messages from text messages telling you, hey, I'm here to sell you earbuds. You gotta buy them. And if you don't say yes, they're going to keep bombarding you. Just like with Journey to Batu, they'll keep asking you, hey, you gotta go check out Disneyland. And if you don't say yes, they'll keep bugging you to keep going until you eventually say yes. It's annoying. You have to download a mod to get them to stop. Outside that, there is the ability to work out at the TV, but the animations are so bad that it looks like it was a fan project rather than an actual Maxis made animation. It is really, really bad. And in previous games, Sims 2 and 3, you could exercise at the TV in the base game. You didn't have to pay $10 to exercise at the TV. So at the end of the day, I give this an easy thumbs down on the recommendation. And I give it a 1 star. Honestly, they should have just made a new game pack where it adds a whole lot of new gym equipment with more build mode and create a sim options. Then I would say it probably would have been worth it. But for $10, you're just getting nothing here. It is not good. I do not like family gameplay in The Sims. So, the Toddler Stuff pack that came out right around the time we got toddlers wasn't really worth buying. And as the title proclaims, it's literally only for the toddlers. Though the kids can play with some of the stuff like the dollhouse, but that's about it. It's mostly just a bunch of decorations and then a few different gameplay objects that are fused together to make it look like there's more to it than there really is. You get a ball pit, you get a slide, you get a little play set, a dollhouse, and that's about it. And just a bunch of decorations, then some clothes, and that's it. How is this $10? This is definitely free update content that they decided to revoke in favor of charging money for it. There is nothing of value here. This all should have been given away for free. This stuff pack should not exist. An easy thumbs down on the recommendation, 1 star. It should have been a free update. Do you want to do laundry? No? Well, for $10 you can do laundry now. Yeah, and it comes with a bunch of ugly decorations. And no real gameplay, no real depth. In fact, it's about as shallow as laundry in The Sims 3 with even less to it. You got only one model for the washer and dryer. They just swap the parts around and change the engraving from a teardrop to waves to represent the washer and the dryer. That's it. That's literally it. $10 freaking dollars for this. That's it. What the hell? It does come with like one of those wash bins, so if you want to do laundry old school, you can. And it comes with the clothesline. Yay, that's it. Really? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that it comes with. You can do laundry at home only because they don't have a laundromat. Yeah, there's no laundromats. For a $10 stuff pack focused entirely on laundry, you would think that there would be some depth to it. But no, it's literally The Sims 3 laundry with even less stuff. What the hell? This ain't worth it. An easy thumbs down on the recommendation. This was not worth buying. How did this win the community polls? I give this an easy 1 star. This is a worthless stuff pack. In fact, I would consider it the worst stuff pack of all. Even worse than luxury party stuff. Do you like having to buy DLC to be able to use other DLC? No? Well then my first pet stuff is not for you, because you need cats and dogs to use most of the stuff from what is clearly cut content from cats and dogs. Yeah, that's literally what this is, cut content. I'll admit some of it is nice. Shocker, still no doghouse. Still no amount of toys and stuff. There's still no depth for pets. Most of the stuff that you saw in Sims 2 and Sims 3 pets are still missing. But hey, at least you get a bunch of obnoxious decorations and stuff that looks like it's straight out of Garfield or whatever, or a Nickelodeon show from the 90s. Then you get like a guinea pig, a porcupine and stuff and like that. Wow, that's so great. Just what I always wanted. Not. This stuff pack sucks. There is nothing good about it. This should have been added for... Oh dear God.
Who's irradiated fur is slowly killing me. CANCERMOUSE. Cancer Mouse. It's Cancer Mouse, everybody.
Hi, Sivvy.
Hi, Cancer Mouse.
We're gonna talk about Stranger Danger and white genocide.
Anyways, for $10, this is worthless. Thumbs down on the recommendation, 1 star. It should have been added for free to cats and dogs through an update. Hell, it shouldn't even been cut in the first place. This is bullshit. Do you like taking photos? No? Yeah, neither do I. So here's a bunch of ugly furniture and decorations from a fancy schmancy, I think Italian, high-end fashion brand. Yeah, this is one of those collaboration DLCs that The Sims likes to do every now and then. And it fucking sucks. The only good thing I can say about it, at least it's not Katy Perry Sweet Treats. That's the only good thing I can say about it. Hell, you can't even really take photos. Half the time it doesn't even work. And then there's a bunch of sim lag when you're trying to take the photos. And then when you're done taking the photos are so low quality, no matter how good your skill is, that there's no point of even having photos if they're going to be so blurry. And then you can put the photos into one of these electronic picture frames where the digital picture frames, and it'll change every hour or however you choose to set it. And that's about it. Yeah, $10 for this. It does come with some Creative Sim stuff, mostly which is for women. Shocker. But that's about it. It ain't worth a penny. Easy thumbs down on the recommendation. 1 star. This should have never occurred. You remember the tiny home craze? I guess it's still technically going on, but it sure was a huge fad for a while. So The Sims 4 cashed in on that fad with a $10 stuff pack where you're supposed to build a tiny house. And that's it. There's no actual gameplay at all introduced in this stuff pack. It's just supposed to be about living in a tiny house. And the new furniture it comes with ain't even tiny. So it doesn't even work. And before they added ladders to the base game and other DLCs, and when they eventually added bunk beds for free and also in other DLCs, this came out long before them. So imagine trying to live in a tiny house where you didn't have no ladders, no bunk beds, no steeper stairs, no spiral stairs, you name it. And the fact that The Sims 4 still has no steeper staircase, let alone freaking spiral stairs, is bull. Since The Sims 1 we had spiral staircases. But yeah, that's about it. There's literally no depth whatsoever to this stuff pack. Hell, it doesn't even really come with any new content. It doesn't even come with any new build mode stuff, just buy mode stuff. It comes with 1 door. No windows, no wallpapers, no floors, no roofs, no nothing. Why is this $10? This is a scam. You're not getting any content. And all the furniture is ugly and huge. And it doesn't even come with full sets. So you're not gonna get tiny kitchens, tiny bathrooms, tiny bedrooms, tiny living rooms, you name it. You just can't make a tiny house in The Sims 4 due to how clunky The Sims building has always been since The Sims 1. You have to build everything on a grid. It's just not worth your money. There's really nothing else to it. It's just build a tiny house, which you could do in the base game. But now, you're incentivized to do so. So that way, you can actually live in an official tiny house with no gameplay. They didn't introduce any new gameplay objects. Normally, every stuff pack introduces a gameplay object, at least 1 or 2. Maybe if you're lucky, sometimes 3. But this one comes with 0. Easy thumbs down, I do not recommend it. 1 star. This is a scam. It should have been a free update at most. Because there is nothing here worthy of $10. Do you like knitting? I don't. I don't understand the appeal of knitting. But if you do, Nifty Knitting is one of the last stuff packs for The Sims 4. Right afterwards came Paranormal Stuff, the very last stuff pack for The Sims 4, years ago. And, yeah, you knit, and that's it. You can knit all types of things. You can make a new mailbox, you can make new toys, you get a little yarn ball for the cats, you can knit decorations, you get rocking chairs, which is nice. I like the rocking chairs. I wish the rocking chairs were a base game edition, at least add one to the base game. And that's about it. A lot of times my Sims can't even knit. They'll complain that there's no room, that they can't route to knit something, and I have to frog, or whatever it's called, the entire project, which is, I have to scrap the entire project every single time because they half the time won't even finish the knitting project. So yeah, half the time they won't even knit the thing I tell them to knit, and that's about it. It's like a semi-broken stuff pack that's dedicated to you making the content rather than Maxis allowing you to access the content. Of course, you can just cheat to unlock everything, including the Create a Sim options, and the Create a Sim options are pretty ugly. I don't recommend the Create a Sim items. As for the build mode stuff, most of it is fugly, but if you want Pixar kind of content, with everything being so vibrant and colorful, then obviously this is more for you. I do like the new toys and decorations, like the little Grim Reapers. I love the little Grim Reapers. I have them in my house. You got the Unravel mascot or whatever, I think it is. And the rocking chair I will use. It does come with 2 new stations, like an inspirational one and then a metal one. They introduced metal to this knitting stuff pack. And as for the metal itself, it sucks. There's only one good song. It's by that Mongolian metal band. I can't remember their name. Overall, that's all there is to it. It's not really worth it. I give it a thumbs down and say it's a wait for sale stuff pack, and I give it 2 stars. I will give them credit for at least trying to make it more engaging, where you have to make the stuff. You can't just get hold of it without cheats. But otherwise, it's a pretty meh stuff pack with a lot of ugly furniture and decorations that you can make. And overall, it's just meh. Remember when The Sims 4 had stuff packs? Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. After the introduction of kits for $5, we never saw a single $10 stuff pack again, with the last one being Paranormal Stuff. Let's take a look and see if stuff packs went out with a bang or a whimper. To start, the new build mode in Create a Sim is meh, so I'm not going to cover it. The gameplay included is all about seances. You sit in a chair and flail around like a kid on the short bus for long periods of time, and then nothing happens. Randomly, Nick Jr. ghosts appear and have no real interaction or gameplay to them. Then, eventually, once you level up your seance skill, you can summon Bonehilda from The Sims 1 and Sims 3, though she's downgraded in Sims 4 Paranormal Stuff, and has to be summoned through the spaz table every time you want her. She has no real interaction, and mostly just sits around your house, and doesn't do anything else. Why is she included again? Also, it's just the base game maid outfit and Jungle Adventures skeleton combined. She's not a unique NPC like in the previous games. Next up is the Paranormal Investigation career, which is active, mind you, but just like the rest of the stuff pack, there's not much to it. You just show up to some random house, mop up puddles and graffiti, then talk to the Nick Jr.'s ghost, or at least you're supposed to, but the stuff pack is broken, and you will fail all the jobs you attend. So it's best to play this active career as a fade off the lot experience instead. Why is there an active career then? Oh well. Overall, I give The Sims 4 Paranormal Stuff pack a thumbs down on the recommendation. It's broken and lackluster. It doesn't feel like a stuff pack, but more like a $10 kit. I also give it 2 stars out of 5 out of sheer pity for being the last stuff pack before the kit apocalypse took over. If you want it, get it on sale. But otherwise, for what little it has to offer and how broken things are, I just don't see any real value in it. Can it be? After all these years, we finally got a new stuff pack for The Sims 4. And it actually works. Unlike Paranormal Stuff. Hooray! Well, that said, it's a stuff pack, so don't get your panties all wet, ladies and gentlemen. It's still that $10 DLC experience. So what does this have to offer? Is it any good? Is it a stuff pack that is worth actually paying the full price for? Is this a return to form? Is there actual quality? Well, let's check it out and see if it's worth getting today.
Get on with it.
First, we're going to start out with Create a Sim. So let's go ahead and check it out. I never really liked talking about Create a Sim because I hardly ever use it anymore. As the years went on, it became more of a burden to create a sim with all the content piled up, and the fact that Sims 4 Create a Sim is still clunky and unintuitive. You have to delete Sims to make new Sims still, so if you want to create a vampire or an alien, or a werewolf, or should I still say a furry because it's not a werewolf, damn it, you have to delete the starter sim because they still refuse to allow you to switch the occult type on the fly like The Sims 3. Where you didn't have to lose progress creating Sims because you could literally switch their life state without deleting them and starting from scratch. So simple, so convenient, so much better than The Sims 4. So yeah, that aside, as you can see, the Create a Sim is small, as the focus of the stuff pack was clearly in the gameplay department, to which I'm all for, as I rarely ever use any of the clutter or Create a Sim stuff in DLCs. I just want things to do in The Sims 4, given its shallow nature. I cannot see myself using the Create a Sim items here, outside of random generated Sims, gallery Sims, or using the outfits for Hangout. Next up, let's look into build mode. As you can see, there's not that much in build mode. Since it's a kitchen stuff pack, you get a counter, an island, fridge, stove, sink, dishwasher, the stove top fan thing, cabinets, and weird lights that look like shelves but are actually just lights of 3 sizes to fit each 3 available heights for rooms. You also get a small selection of clutter, to which they look fine. I do like the recipe book stand the most of all the clutter. And then there's the gameplay of the stuff pack, which lies in 3 different objects. First up, you have the bowl mixer to mix a variety of ingredients, such as vegetables, meat, dough, cookie dough, and other stuff. I have a no ingredients mod, so I don't really need to use this bowl mixer. So for me, this is not really useful, but it's there for those who play vanilla and don't use mods like a no ingredients mod. But otherwise, I just don't see myself really using this. Especially because with no ingredients mod, I remove the hassle of needing ingredients for every little thing to make any recipes, because unlike in The Sims 3, where you can actually go to an actual grocery store to get majority of food ingredients, The Sims 4, you don't. You have to run around in all the different worlds, go fishing, wait forever for the plants to grow in those neighborhoods so that way you can harvest them. It's really annoying. But yeah, the bowl mixer's nice. I like how it actually moves and everything. It's a nice little animated object. Next up is the waffle maker, and it's simple to use, though be wary as it can set stuff on fire. I learned that the hard way. So be sure to upgrade the thing to speed things up and make it less of a hassle to use. Afterwards, start making a variety of waffles from plain to chicken and waffles, and you get a lot of different options. My favorite one is the heart ones.
Oh, my favorite!
The other gameplay object is a pizza oven, which you can put onto any surface that allows it, like the counter. All three objects can be placed in your inventory as well, but back to the pizza oven. Finally, we can make pizza and not have to order it. It takes a while though to make, which is realistic, but with the 3 upgrade options, you can make things faster and better. Same thing can be applied to the waffle maker and the bowl mixer. So once you upgrade the objects, everything's a lot more smooth. Except for the waffle maker still likes to spontaneously combust. I think the product was made by Samsung. But anyways, back to the pizza oven. Now you got a lot more variety of pizzas to make. So you got your simple margarita, you got your cheese, you got your pepperoni. Then you got some of these different recipes that you can make too. And then you have this weird hypnotic blue pizza that's very trippy. And you got vegetarian options as well, lactose-free options, you name it. It's a pretty fun little gameplay object. I like making my own little pizzas.
Pizza, pizza!
Peter, Peter!
Now onto the final bit of this DLC. Since you have all this stuff, all this food that you've made, why not make money off of it? You can use the new foods in Hangout. If you want something less expensive and less of a hassle though, you can also buy a food stall, place it in your inventory, and set up shop on any lot in any world. I chose the park because, it's a park, it's a perfect place to set up shop. But then I forgot that there was competition from the other DLC food stalls, on top of the fact that I'm opening a pizza and waffles stall in the dead of winter at night. But hey, my sim is a vampire, so what else is he to do with his free immortal time? Look at that face. He knows what he's doing. The cheeky breeky. You make food, put it into the stall inventory, and then open up business. Over time, Sims will come over to buy food. They only ever buy 1 serving each time, so it's less annoying having to make more and more food. But you can only sell a couple of items at a time, as my sim had 2 waffle plates and a pizza only, when the stall had more inventory. It's simple and straightforward without much input from you, the player. Like I said, it's a less hassle, less expensive dine-out alternative for those who like to make food and want to sell it. And Satch on Sims was right. Sims will just stand there. At first I thought it was because he opened up his food stall in the middle of a beach. But it turns out Sims, even if there's tables and chairs nearby, they'll still prefer to stand and eat in front of the stall. So, just like the trailer showed, they will not sit down. Like, why do they sit down in the trailer, but they won't sit down in the gameplay? Love the false advertisement, EA. In the end, I closed my stall after making a few sales, and it's so easy to set up and clean up. So props to the developers for making it so easy to maintain. At the end of the day, I enjoyed the new stuff pack. As a man of food culture, nothing makes me more happy than cooking and baking. Well, actually, femboys are better. But anyways, I had fun with the stuff pack. It's simple with plenty of options. Tons of swatches on all the create a sim and build mode objects. I do like this stuff pack. I feel that it's worth getting. Even with a few quirks like the waffle maker exploding like a Samsung phone like it's still 2016, or the fact that Sims stand there and eat in front of the stall instead of sitting down, those minor complaints don't hinder my enjoyment or recommendation. So if you think this stuff pack might be for you, go check it out today. So, you made your dream home in the suburbs. You got it all now. 3 bros living together and not beating the gay allegations at all. So what now? What else is there to do? Well, the Sims 4 Crystal Creations Stuff Pack aims to help you out with that lack of things to do. Doesn't that sound like fun, you guys? The Sims 4 Crystal Creation Stuff gives your Sims a new gameplay object. A reskin of the workbench from the base game, but now with crystals and jewelry crafting. Yep, now you can harness the power of crystals like all those toxic white women on the internet and think you'll become a Mary Sue Wonder Woman that can take on the imaginary patriarchy or just cure your cancer because that's what they literally believe in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Go figure, the crazies will always come up with new ways to spew their nonsense. Thanks, Reagan, for closing down the asylums. Oh wait, he's dead, never mind. Starting off with Create a Sim, we get new stuff. Mostly for females. Color me surprised.
I'm not surprised.
But despite the blatant sexism towards men never ending in The Sims, what is on offer is still nice. I like the style, and even the hair. At least the female hair, as the male ones look like the typical douche tuber you'd see Moist Critical mock in yet another drama video.
Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to talk about another douche tuber being a dumbass. I mean, why is he such a dumbass? I can't believe he's being such a dumbass. What a dumbass. Anyways, that's about it. Yup, see ya.
Like, that is it. Like, it's about as, like, lowbrow as those 3 farts. Like, my little ass trumpet right there is about how deep that video went.
There's nothing wrong with the clothing itself for males, but yeah, that's about it. Just some new clothing and hair, no beards or makeup. Wow, okay. So let's go over the build mode now. When it comes to build mode content, we got a decent selection on offer with a new sales table, rugs, decorations, desks, sofas, chairs, bookcases, wallpaper, shelves, and more. The build mode objects themselves, along with Create a Sim, interest me a lot more than the gameplay aspect of this stuff pack, unlike Home Chef Hustle, which I like the gameplay more so. If you want more old school style furniture and clothing to go with your supernaturals like I do, then this stuff pack has some value. But if not, you might not get your money's worth so far. So what about the gameplay? Well, you can craft one of 2 things at a time. Crystals and jewelry. Each with their own shapes and styles depending on your crafting level. So you get to make stuff and then watch. Yeah, it takes forever sadly to make anything, even with a higher skill level. That's one of the drawbacks. It's also, well, it's actually not almost as bad as writing a book. But also, it's not as bad as trying to catch every single fish type in the game either in terms of how long it takes, thank god. Crystals are just something you carry around with you, and each one, depending on your combinations, will give you different effects. But that's about it. So what about the jewelry? Surely that's better, right? I'm not into fabulous things, so no, it's not. It's not better. No, darling, it's not.
I never want to hear that shit again.
You can make rings, earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. There's a few different styles, but I wish there was a bit more variety. And just like crystals, you can get effects on them as well. So with that, you can make your sim pretty up with several bonus effects at once. Gee, it's like we're abusing Skyrim's enchantment system up in here. So what are these effects? Well, each time you craft something, depending on the jewelry frame, metal, and crystal, you'll get different results. Some will give you a chance to avoid death, or even help you write and paint masterpieces better. Mix and combine different stuff to find what works for you and craft it. I like this part of the stuff pack. It really gives it more intrigue. But if you want to use those abilities, you must charge your stuff. So, how do you charge your stuff?
Good question.
If you wait till 7 p.m. and during that time till 7 a.m., you can charge your jewelry using the charging table that must be placed outside. Depending on the moon phase, and maybe even the weather, I'm not sure, things will charge at a different rate. The best result is during a full moon, as things only take roughly 3 hours to fully charge. Otherwise, it could take almost 12 hours or so. Once charged, the ability that jewelry or crystal has will be usable for that set duration. For example, I can summon the Grim Reaper and avoid death at any time for 2 days worth of charge on one of my creations, so long as I have it equipped on that outfit. Another allows a vampire to not lose their thirst as much, and another will let my sim always succeed in romance. The abilities are what really makes this stuff pack interesting, and without them, I'd be way more pissed off than I already am with this DLC. If you've made several bits of jewelry, why not sell them? Sure, you can just magically sell them in your inventory or by entering build mode and deleting them there, but if you want a less fun and less engaging way to do it, you got a new sales table to plop stuff wherever you want to.
Plop.
And then sell your shit there.
Come one, come all, today Moist Jewelry is here to sell you overpriced, crappy handmade jewelry. No Chinese child slave labor used. For it's organic, do you hate how your wife doesn't get moist as she could? Why not spice up your love life with my Moist Jewelry? She'll be almost as wet as when she sees me take my shirt off.
Of course, you can only sell once you start an event, and after that, you got randomly generated townies flooding your table. Just standing there.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
You gotta sales pitch each one individually till they buy something. The higher your charisma level, the less grinding you gotta do. Yep, it's that boring, and while I like the concept, the execution leaves a lot to be desired.
It is I, a picky bitch.
The last thing about this stuff pack is if you apparently plant crystals you craft, you can then grow crystal trees that grow more crystals for crafting. So if you don't want to wait all day for the rocks to respawn around the neighborhood to collect more, you got a way to farm them now. I guess that's neat. Even though you can just enable cheats and get all the crystals and metals for free.
Well, no!
As for if there's anything else left to be said, not really. There's no new music or aspirations or even traits to go with this stuff pack. You also don't get stuff for kids or younger. It's just teen through elder as per usual with this game. So yeah, that's about it. Let's wrap things up. I've got more sim stuff left to cover, and I don't want to waste any more time here than I already have.
It's over, it's finally over.
At the end of the day, The Sims 4 Crystal Creation Stuff is just another mediocre DLC with barely any content and huge asking price for something that isn't really anything interesting, as I'm not a white woman nor a feminist, so I don't believe in rocks having magical powers that will heal my cancer and all that bullshit they tend to believe in. This $10 kit, yes, it's a $10 kit based on what it has to offer, wasn't worth really buying whatsoever, but the saving grace for this $10 kit lies entirely in creative sim, build mode, and the gameplay effects jewelry has. If it wasn't for that, I'd just call it garbage and not recommend it. I can't believe it's been a year basically since the last stuff pack, and this is the very last one as of this recording. Are stuff packs dead? Are they going the way of game packs in favor of kits and $40 game packs they keep calling expansion packs that they release multiple times a year now? Probably. But for what it is, Crystal Creations is just barely worth it. If you can get it cheaper than the $10, you're going to get something decent for a few minutes of distraction, and that's about it. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.